I know you've all probably been here before, right? She's upset about something. She has a problem that's been happening. She tells you about it. And your brain, it immediately starts working for a solution. So you tell her, listen, this is what's happening. Here's what you should do. Here's how to fix it. I'm going to lay it out clearly. Here's what you need to do next. Let's work on the action items. And so you're feeling good about helping, right? You're really feeling like, okay, I got this. I know why she came to me. I'm going to fix the issue. But somehow it happens to make things worse. And you're sitting there like, I am just trying to help. Right? Here I am trying to form a plan for her, and now I made it worse. She gets more upset. She says, you're not really listening. And again, you're sitting there totally confused as to why you solving the problem or giving her an action item made her more frustrated and not more relieved. You were trying to help. You were helping, right? Welcome to the Dating Rulebook is Wrong series. I'm Mariana, dating and relationship coach, and today we are going to talk about something that I see so often, and I talk about this a lot with my clients, and it's why men default to solutions. We're going to discuss what women are actually asking for when they come to you with their problems. Let's get honest. This one is one of the most consistent disconnects I see in relationships, and it often creates a cycle of frustration. And both people feel so helpless inside the cycle. He tries to help, she feels unheard. She expresses that, then he feels dismissed. And listen, you tried, right? You genuinely tried to help her. So why isn't that enough sometimes? On her end, she's thinking, why does talking to him about my feelings of what I'm struggling with make me feel worse, make me feel even more pressured? I'd actually rather not bring this up at all to him because it becomes actually more exhausting. And so when she stops bringing stuff to you, when she starts processing her feelings in her own time alone, that's when emotional distance starts to happen. That's when couples then start feeling like roommates, like there is something missing. And guess what? This is not a character flaw on either side. It's actually a wiring and socialization difference that nobody really explains clearly. And so that's why I thought it was so important to talk about this one. Listen, once you understand it, everything in your relationship will start to change. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's talk about why men default to problem solving. It's not random. It's how men are often socialized to express care. Think about how boys are raised. When something is wrong, the message is always figure out a solution. Don't dwell, don't over-emote, fix it, and move on. And that's reinforced since many men are young, right? It's like boys don't cry, you got to figure it out. And you learn that you're valuable when you fix things, when you know how to solve things. Competence is how you contribute. So when the woman you love comes to you with a problem, your brain does what it was trained to do. Immediately moves towards solution. And in your mind, that is love. That is you taking care of her. Your I can fix this for her is another way of saying you matter to me and I want to help. I care about this and I want to fix it because it matters to you. And it completely makes sense from the inside, right? Of course, it makes sense. Why would somebody be upset at that? Because why? It's genuinely well-intentioned. However, the problem is not the intention. The problem is the timing. So we're going to talk about what women actually want first, before a solution, before advice, before the analysis, before the questioning, before a 5-step action plan that you have in the back pocket, right? What a woman usually wants first is simply to be heard. She wants her experience acknowledged. That's it. She wants to feel that what happened to her, how it felt, why it was hard for her, landed with you and you sat with it before you kickstart your action plan mode. She doesn't want that advice right away. She wants acknowledgement of how she's feeling, of you sitting there with her in it. So saying, wow, that sounds really hard, lands way better than you listing out a 5-action step plan. Even though I know you want to help her, that's not what she wants from you in that moment. And not because the plan is bad or your advice is bad, but because that plan is coming before she feels heard and acknowledged and have her feelings just be with you. And when somebody doesn't feel heard, They literally cannot receive advice in that moment. Their nervous system is not ready for it yet. She's still in that feeling mode of, oh, this was really hard. I just need to sit with this for a minute. And so when you right away move on to the fix, she feels like, oh, I didn't even have time to process this. I just wanted somebody to hold me through it. I always say it's like offering food to someone before asking if they're hungry. Even if the food is great, if the timing is still wrong, it doesn't matter how good the food is. It's not going to serve that person in that moment. So let me share a sequence that actually works. And it's actually pretty simple, just 3 steps. First, acknowledge. Before anything else, let her know you heard her and that what she's feeling is valid. And you don't have to agree with everything. You don't have to say she handled it perfectly, because maybe she didn't, but just saying, that sounds really frustrating. I get why you're upset. That's it. That's a whole first step. Validating her feelings. Step 2, ask, do you want me to listen right now? Or do you want me to offer solutions? That simple question can really transform these conversations. Why? Because it takes away that guessing game completely off the table. You're asking her, what do you actually need from me right now? You're not confused as to, okay, what does she need from me? You're not freaking out. You're asking her for clarity. And she's not feeling like you're dismissing her. She's in that position of, oh, okay, I can decide. And it makes her question herself too. What is it that I actually want right now? You're asking directly and she gets to tell you. And the third step, follow her lead. If she says she just needs to talk through it, stay present, listen, and reflect back what you hear. If she says, actually, I want help, I need your advice, then you can bring that notepad with all your 5 action plan steps, right? Now it's actually welcome. Now it lands. And this matters way beyond just making her feel heard, because I really want you to understand the full picture of this. This is just bigger than just a single conversation. Because a woman who genuinely feels heard by you and held by you trusts you way more. She starts coming to you more. She starts opening up to you more. She stays closer emotionally. Why? Because staying close to you doesn't cost her anything. In fact, it adds more value to her life. She's not bracing every time she brings something up to you, wondering if she's gonna feel dismissed again. And here's the thing, sometimes your solutions are a lot more effective when they follow connection rather than replace it. When she trusts that you heard her and held her feelings with her, like sat with her in it, she will generally be more open to hearing the advice and the action steps later on. The advice lands more strongly. The plan gets implemented and you've helped. You've helped in the way that's actually useful. So I want to be honest with you about something. The men who are in the best relationships are not the men who never problem solve. They're simply the men who know when to problem solve and when to just be present, to just be. That distinction, that timing is absolutely everything. And I know that the just being or just staying with her in it can feel very passive and can maybe feel frustrating to you because you're like, I know I can fix this. I know I can do it. But that's not what she needs from you in that moment. You know, for a man who is wired to fix, to solve, sitting in the middle of someone's pain, someone you actually love, and not actively trying to move them out of it, that's going to take real discipline. Why? Because it just goes against the instinct, right? But you can do it. But I want you to understand, being fully present with someone in their difficulty will never be passive. It is one of the most emotionally intelligent and frankly courageous things that a person can do for someone they love. It means tolerating discomfort, her discomfort and your own, without rushing it to go away. There's power in those emotions. It's actually how you build those deeper connections, through sharing those emotions, through sitting with them together. The moments where you get that right, where she feels completely held and understood and supported, those are the moments that build a strong relationship. Those are the moments she remembers. Not the problem you solved, but how you made her feel when she was pouring out to you about these things. The moment you made her feel like she wasn't alone in it. So here's the reframe. Saying, I hear you. That makes sense. is sometimes the most powerful sentence you can say when somebody comes to you with a problem. Not because it fixes anything, but because it communicates something more important, bigger than just a fix. It simply communicates, I am here with you. I see what you're carrying. You don't have to carry it alone. I'm here. And being present before being helpful isn't a weakness. It's actually a skill, right? It's emotional intelligence at play. And when you start to remember that, it will change a lot of your conversations within your relationship. So the one particular thing I want you to take away from this video, the next time she brings something hard to you, or anybody that you love really, before you say anything else, try, that sounds really, really hard. I'm glad you told me. And then wait. See what happens in the next 30 seconds. I think it will surprise you. Again, this is a learnable skill. It sounds simple, but knowing it is way easier than actually doing it. It takes discipline. It's going to take awareness. It's going to take mindfulness. It takes practice. It takes intentional work. So if you want to build it, feel free to book a call with me. I'm always here to support you on your journey to either improving your relationship, improving yourself so you attract better people in your life. Comment below what hit the hardest in this video. I'll see you next time.